a great start to start Sunday with a boat of all people from the Philippines. Yay! Good morning, everybody. My name is Matthew, and we're gonna make a boat trip into the most beautiful city of Belgium. Yes. Have you been to Bruges as well?
Yes.
Yes. But Ghent is more. No. No. First time. Okay. Now, before we start, there's something really important that you need to know about my city. Here in Ghent, we have two rivers coming together. Yeah. We have the river de Lys, and the other river, it's called the Scheldt. Now, we're gonna be traveling the whole time on the river Lys. The whole time.
Yeah.
Now, between those two bridges, this is the first harbor of my city. Now, this harbor is from the 11th century. It's a long, long, long time ago. Now, this harbor in the Middle Ages was the second biggest harbor of Europe. Yes. Now, in the Middle Ages, there were 5 big cities. Ghent was the second biggest city. Then there was also Bruges. There was also Hamburg. There was also Amsterdam. And do you have any idea the biggest one of all? And it's romantic there. Paris. Paris was the biggest city and had the biggest harbor in the Middle Ages. Okay, so we're gonna start with a different kind of houses on your left hand side. You have this gray facade here. This facade is the oldest facade of the city. It's from the 12th century, and this was the storehouse. Now, in this harbor, this was a grain harbor. We've traded grain. Grain was needed to make bread, to make beer, to make all of things. And the grain was stocked in here. Yeah? Now, if you're gonna be standing closer to this building, you will see this building is standing like this. Now, this was specially made because when they pulled in the bags of grain, yeah, it could never hit the wall. You see? That's why they built like this. Now, on the right hand side of this grey facade, you have a really tiny small house. You see with the blue windows. Now, this was the toll house, where all the taxes had to be paid. Today, this is one of the smallest bars that we have in Ghent. All together, we cannot go inside. It's so small. Yes.
It's more like this one.
Yeah. No. The fun part is, if you would be so drunk in this bar, you can stand like this. Now, maybe the only thing, some resemblance, the Big Ben Tower. You see?
Yeah, this one, yeah.
Baby Big Ben. Now, ladies and gentlemen, get your cameras ready, because now look at this beautiful view here on the 3 towers of my city. The first tower, the first church, is the St. Nicholas Church. And this church was only used by me, the people of Ghent. Only the people of Ghent, back in the days, could go in this church. Now, everybody can go inside. Now, the second tower, this is the belfry. And the belfry is the watchtower of the city. With on top of the belfry, there's a golden dragon. This is not a chicken or a rooster. This is a dragon, the protector of the city. And then the last one is the cathedral. A cathedral is always bigger than a church. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday today, but after 12 o'clock, you have to go inside this cathedral. Maybe you can go inside now, because maybe sometime on Sunday there's a mess. Now, inside this cathedral, you will find a world-famous painting. It's this painting. This painting is called The Adoration of the Mystic Lamp of the Brothers van Eyck. If you have a book, the top 100 most famous paintings ever made, this painting is going to be inside, for sure. This is a big, gigantic painting. You have to go inside to check it. And with kids, what is really cool to do with kids, inside this cathedral, you will see a big whale, a skeleton of a whale. Yes, that's really cool with the kids to see. Now, you have the grey building here on your right hand side. This was a monastery from the Dominicans. Now, today this is a cultural center of the University of Ghent. It belongs to the University of Ghent. Now, the small thing attached to it, well, those used to be the toilets. Now, these guys, they had only 2 toilets for more than 100 people. So can you imagine the waiting line in the morning? Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, flushing in those days didn't exist. Everything was dropped into the river. All the poop, caca, pee pee, and the river de Lys.
Yeah.
There was full with holy poop flowing into the river.
Until now.
No, sir. No. Now we are civilized. We are civilized. And you know this expression, holy shit, comes from here.
Sorry,
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the last 9 years, Ghent is the biggest city in Belgium for students. We have more than 75,000 students here in Ghent. And we have a population here in Ghent, 250,000 inhabitants. Ghent is the 3rd biggest city in Belgium after Brussels and Antwerp. Now, can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, with so many students here in Ghent, we have a lot of fun and party in Ghent. Oh yeah. Art, music, festivals, parties, it never stops. The only problem is you keep on forgetting that you're not 25 anymore, so enjoy it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this here is the biggest church of my city, the biggest one. And this church is called the St. Michael's Church. This church was only used by the beer brewers, the people who made beer. Because remember, all the caca, pee-pee and the water. In the Middle Ages, nobody was drinking water. Water was full with diseases, so everybody drank beer. Children, babies, waking up in the morning, mommy, I'm thirsty, a beer. Going to sleep, a beer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this was not the same beer from today. It was a table beer. There was maybe 1% alcohol in it. They were not getting drunk. But it was safer to drink beer than water. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why these guys, they had the biggest church of all, because they were the richest people in the city. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now you have a beautiful view on your house. You have also a beautiful house. And your house is the house with on top of the roof the golden ship. Now the ship is the Santa Maria of Christopher Columbus. You see, this is the same ship above the door, is the same ship above the roof. These two? Yes. So, my house, your house. So, imagine we entering the harbor together in the Middle Ages. Now, I'm born in Ghent, so that means I have to pay no money, and I go into this house. Now, you guys, you have to pay first to enter my city, and then you go to the other side. Now, everybody can come for free, of course. Now, there's a really, really cool story. Under the golden ship, you have like 2 sea monsters. You have 2 lions, but above 2 sea monsters, yes? When they did the decoration of your house, they asked, can you make a dolphin? Now the problem was, the people here in Ghent, in those days, they never had seen a dolphin in their life. And this must be a dolphin. Strange dolphin. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to show you the smallest house of my city. Look, look. Look, this is the smallest house of my city. You see between the 2 houses? This in the corner, this is the tourist office of Ghent. The thing that is sticking out. When the people are inside, that's the tourist office. So, left hand side, fish markets. Now on the other side, meat market, 15th century. Now they make promotion for local products. So what you're gonna find inside? Beer, of course, cheese, ham, chocolates. Ladies and gentlemen, have you been to Brussels? Yeah, some? Now in Brussels we have a really famous statue, Manneken Pis. This little statue doing pee-pee, yes? Now we also have one here in Ghent. But ours is not doing pee-pee, and ours is really happy. Pee-pee! Yeah, pee-pee! Pee-pee kaka! Okay, are you ready to see Manneken Pis? Look, left hand side, you have 3 statues, and the one in the middle, he's wearing a costume. That's Manneken Pis of Ghent. Yes, really small. Really, really small. Now, ours is the most happiest one, because he's got 2 girlfriends, Lena and Luna. Manneken Pis and 2 Janneken Pis. Janneke is the female, Manneke is the boy. Pee-pee! Nu, ladies and gentlemen, on your left hand side you have like a yellow white building with the white flags. This is called the House of Alain. Now this was a hospice, like a retiring home only for women. When a woman in the Middle Ages, when you became like 35 years old, you were so old and you could go here to die. 35, ladies. Way too early. Ladies, you were married at the age of 10, 11. You had 6, 7 children. When you were 21, 35 finished. Gentlemen, we were along dead on the battlefield. We were along dead. Now, today, this is a museum of folklore. Now this is really, really cool to do with kids, because they're gonna see a Walkman, a Discman, you know the old telephones. Yes, the big televisions, black and white, you have to push the buttons. A floppy disk, the first Game Boy, You don't know this, huh? You know a Walkman, ladies? Yeah. Yeah, children nowadays, they don't know this anymore. Huh?
No, it's...
Pee-pee! Pee-pee! Somebody is having a lot of fun in my boat trip. Yeah. Now, if you want to make some more boat trips, well, the beautiful boats here on your left hand side, you can rent these boats. And these boats are coming from Bangladesh. Pee-pee! Now, there's a vegetarian restaurant here, and they make meditation boat trips. Yes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 9 years ago, we people of Ghent, we could choose our ugliest building of the city. Ugliest. This one in front of you, second place of ugliest building of the city. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is unique in the world. Huh? Where have you ever seen a castle built like this in the middle of a city center? These kind of castles should be always standing outside to protect the city. And here, it's inside. And this is called the Castle of the Counts. It's from the 11th century. It's a long time ago. And today, this is a museum for medieval weapons and torture instruments. And ladies, maybe you still are looking for a place to get married. You can get married in the torture chamber. Now, this is also, this view here, all these houses here, this is a typical view of my city. You have houses from the 15th century, 16th century, 17th century, 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, and also this really modern house. You see? All together. Because we can do this in Ghent. We are not in UNESCO, so we're much free to do what you want. But if you go to Bruges, you will see everything is the same, because it's protected.